Hey everyone, welcome to Pine Grove News Live. Yeah, let me turn off. Hey everyone, welcome to Pine Grove News Live. Okay, I'll just turn that off. Yeah, it's 6:02 p.m. here on the East Coast. Yeah, Southern New England, Northern Connecticut. Let me go. I gotta do this. Apologize, but it's gotta be done. You know that Fair Use Act, just in case. Yep. So we'll put that there. So, done. And we can go on. So, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It is March 11th. And actually, I'm sorry, the 13th. I saw 11th down there. I just remember my daughter's birthday, my youngest baby of the family. Yep. I'm not going to mention the age. You might even listen to this for the first time and find out that I've mentioned her age. You know how women can be like that. Hold on, that's helicopters flying over. Okay. Very unusual for this time of day. We do have the highway a mile and a half away. We usually don't have any kind of traffic helicopter flying this end. No, we don't. So, news we got. Got a little message after we do the news. That's what I wanted to remind you about right now. Just a couple things I need to talk about. It's pretty important. Got to be said. In any case, some things that we're going to look at in the news. Facebook is still down, I can hopefully I can post there afterwards. I tried to post the reminder that we are going to be on, but as of 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when I checked, because I saw an article that it was down, as of 6:05 p.m. 2-hour update, it is still down. At least down for me and down for some other folk. I don't know if it's down for everybody. Said they're going through maintenance. What a crazy time to do maintenance. I mean, I don't know. Is there ever any good time to do maintenance on a site that is so busy? With all these things and algorithms that they're putting out there, and that's very strange too. A bunch of birds flying in one direction. They should have all been south already. Just 20 of them. Normally don't see that unless they're coming back already. I don't know. Keep going. There's another very unusual sight. I love this window to my backyard. Sit up a little higher than some of the houses. Most of them are fenced in. A lot of tree obstruction, so during the summer, that's all I see is leaves, at least on that side. So anyway, what we're going to talk, we're going to go look at a Ouija board that was used in kindergarten class. Scientists claim world's first time machine. Also, some Jewish comedian seems to be the lead candidate for Ukraine. That's common. There's got to be something going on there. Some kind of comedic joke or something. A Jewish comedian running on, as president for president. It's almost as funny as the, A.O. Cortez, thinking that she's running everything. It's almost as funny. The A.O. Cortez, I call her now. Anyways, I heard something about her today too. I'm gonna put that together probably for tomorrow or something. I wasn't a chance. It's in my video history. It's just a video of, you know, the what do you call it? The ad company or the ad firm, excuse me, that was instrumental in Cortez's election campaign. Put in a lot of weeks, 12 hours a day. You know, I think they were saying at least 6 weeks or something like that. A very short time, you know. But, you know, it was, anyways. And they were instrumental in getting her elected. She did it at the last moment. They call her Susan, bartender. Yeah. And, you know, even with the millions in the campaign contributions, this firm only got $6,000. 3 people in this firm, New York firm, small business, 6,000. That's 2,000 apiece for 6 weeks. It was at least 6 weeks. That's yeah. Well, it's $1,000 a week. You divide that by 3, so it's $333.33 a piece each per week. I think that's below minimum wage. How insulting, you know, and then, you know, she's being accused of, you know, moving those funds, campaign funds, over $1 million. And so we'll hear more about that. And anyway, so, yeah, Facebook is down. Giant underwater Jesus in Lake Michigan. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on. Go to what we got first. Some storm weather related stuff, usually from the end time headlines. 70 million are in the path of bomb cyclone. Why the heck do they call them this stuff? Bomb cyclone. I mean, what are these people learning in school? Set to strike the central U.S. I heard it struck yesterday, and there was quite a few tornadoes. As a matter of fact, this next one is a picture of a house. This is also from End Time Headlines. Of course, they get it from other people too. I don't know who the original was, but we'll find out. Incredible drone footage shows a perfectly intact house surrounded by total devastation following the deadly Alabama tornadoes that killed 23 people. I mean, look at that, folks. One house, good size house too, nice house. And it seems like it was in the middle of the woods. All the trees are down. All the trees are down. Of course, they got some kind of, looks like some kind of, what do you call that? Glass house to the right of that, the school bus parked there. But anyway, right in the middle of all these trees. Every one of these trees, well, not every one. I see a couple standing there. Majority of them are down. Yeah. So if you want the drone footage, it's over at the Daily Mail. It's not Time Headlines. They don't give you the whole story. They do it just like me, except they put it in print. And if you want to read more and learn more about it, go to that link, which the Daily Mail supposedly came up with it first. And the same as this bombogenesis. Bomb cyclone is expected to bring hurricane gust winds. I believe it was just blizzard conditions and a flood threat across the swath of U.S. heartland Wednesday. We're supposed to have 57 degrees tomorrow. We're a little bit above normal. This bomb cyclone occurs when there is a rapid pressure drop, falling at least 24 millibars, which measures atmospheric pressure over 24 hours, known as bombogenesis. Massive storm is expected to wallop areas including the Rockies, central North Plains to the upper Midwest with blizzard conditions and winds that could blow up to 50 to 70 miles per hour. Other hazards will be or included heavy snow and severe storms with possible tornadoes, flooding, and yeah, we saw some result of that. We were talking about the same storm pattern. Always go to AccuWeather and find out exactly real time. All right, well, they don't have me in there. Okay. Now, yeah. Currently 44 degrees. Let's see. You should see radar map. There we go. I'm not to open it up. Sliding this baby down. Line it up. Yeah, no, it's happening right now. Right in there in let's see, Missouri, Arkansas. And then you got way up there north, Wisconsin is just starting to be hit. Let's see, this was at 6:05 p.m. and Dakotas being hit. And then you got some pattern over Great Lake there, in Ottawa, Canada. And everything just seems to be going north of us, which is fine for me because I hurt myself that last storm. And I was down for 4.5 days. Yeah, missed 2 days of work. I do get paid sick time for it, though. So there you have it. There's the outlook right now. Run this just for a second. Yeah, so all of it's moving north. That thing over there in Ottawa. Moving east, but away from us. Okay, so that's the outlook right now. So, yeah, you're still under those conditions. All right, so here's the Jewish comedian who's a leading candidate in the Ukrainian presidential election. Give me 1 second. I was going to go look and see if I'm live out there. Not that I can say hello to anybody or anything, but it does say that I am live. Okay, good. And so, yeah, I mean, let's just read a little bit about that, huh? Dubbed the Ukrainian Donald Trump. I'm not going to, the last name Zelensky, I can pronounce that. The first name, forget it. Volodymyr could become the next president of Ukraine. Go figure, man. Anything goes, I guess. 41-year-old Jewish comedian is likely to win the Ukrainian presidency election on March 31st. Okay, well, I don't normally follow the things that are going over in the Ukraine. I know that the U.S. has stuck their nose in it. I know that the Nazis are still there. So I guess according to the Queen, yeah, how does it go? They're saying that the Nazis didn't lose the war; they just disappeared. The military surrendered. Whatever. In any case, it's done. People were not being killed anymore, and the Jews, the solution, I guess Hitler called it something solution, never was finished. And yeah, I keep hearing that, how many times, the Jewish people were, and other people were trying to eliminate the Jewish people from off the planet, from off the face of the earth. And they have not succeeded. In at least a couple thousand years, they may have dispersed them, but they have not killed them. They have not wiped them off the face of the planet. So anyway, School is sued for demanding vaccinations. Good. I'll put this out there because it's good news. Anytime the parents can get together and stick up for their children, it's a good thing. I'm glad they're doing it. More people should. More parents. Anyways, the outraged parents of 44 pupils who have not been vaccinated against the measles have filed a federal lawsuit to get their children back in school. Children from Green Meadow Waldorf School had been told by authorities in December that they would not be allowed to enter the school as they had not been vaccinated against the measles virus. However, their parents are now taking a stand against the decision made by the Rockland Health Department, arguing the medical benefits of the vaccination are debatable. They most certainly are. God bless you, Hen. Good to see you here. Peace, sister. Yeah, and blessings to everyone. I mean, we all need a little blessing, do we not? And peace to everyone. And have the peace. You know, even with all this stuff that's going on. And I'll tell you what happened to me last night at the end of the news. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still in a lot of prayer about it, and I'm going to be in more prayer about it. We should not fear these things that are coming. And I'll let you, I'll talk about that later. And why you shouldn't, of course. You should know that Jesus says you are not to fear. And he tells you the things that are to come in the Bible and what to watch for, and that's what we're doing. We're watching for him. And all I can tell you right now, what happened to me last night, is that we are a lot closer than anybody thinks. Never had anything like this happen before to me. Anyways, Facebook is down. I told you that. And here's the article from WND. Facebook is having issues as users reported problems with the social media site Wednesday morning. That's today. According to the downdetector.com, users in the United States are reporting issues with posting, live streaming features, and a slew of other technical difficulties. So yes, you can go to downdetector.com and it'll show you when and if and who's down. Not just with Facebook. You could check that thing with a lot of other things. Phones, Verizon phone systems, Google, whatever. But like I said, as of 6:05 when we came on, it was still down. Tried to get in there just before I went on air, and still down. We'll see. They just said to me that there was an error, that they were doing some kind of construction in there, and that it would be back on in a few minutes. But it has been 2 hours since I've checked it. Checked it at 4:05. So anyway, what is it? WPTV, is that? It's channel 5 out of West Palm Beach. Also says, Facebook says currently the outage is not related to a DDoS attack. I'm not really sure what a DDoS attack is. Is that a hacking attack or something like that? So Facebook and Instagram are having technical issues. Users reported problems with the social media sites today. Facebook posted to Twitter reassuring users that the site would be back online. It also said the outage is not related to DDoS attacks. So we're aware that some people are currently having trouble accessing Facebook family of apps. We're working to resolve the issue as soon as possible. The Facebook account said on Twitter. According to downdetector.com, Facebook users in the United States are reporting issues with posting, blah, 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 streaming features, and a slew of other technical. It's just down. Okay? Whatever you want to try, it's down. And I'm sure there are a lot of people panicking. Oh no, how am I going to be able to post this and read that and get on live and listen to live? And this, that, you know, how am I going to tell that person off? How am I going to, you know, come on, pick up the phone, you know, or just, oh, send a smoke signal. May have to do that sometime. We'll see. We'll talk about that after the news. Quantum time. Okay, this is it. This is from the Sun now. Okay, remember that it's, I believe it's still a UK paper. It says right at the top, a news UK company. And I've spoken to you before about this, that it may be, you know, there may be legitimate articles blown out of proportion. The headlines usually are, and it's not usually what you think it is. It's kind of like the National Enquirer that we used to have here in the States. I don't know if they still have it at grocery stores, at the checkout stand. I don't normally do grocery shopping. But anyways, the title here is Quantum Time. Scientists have built world's first time machine in an experiment which defies the laws of physics. Okay. So lead researchers Dr. Gordy Lausvik said that by putting scattered electrons back into their original shape, they had effectively created a state which went against the direction of time. Yeah, I don't know what the time. They use a pool table, you know, the game of pool, 8-ball, you know, cue stick, cue ball, that as an example down here. So they're talking about bizarre realm of quantum mechanics. I tried to, you know, I looked up the definition of quantum mechanics before, and I don't know what the big deal is. It's all a bunch of random stuff that they think that it's just random. And how they can detect random, I have no clue. That's the part I don't understand. It's like it's like I can't use the pool table thing, because if you go to hit the cue ball, you know, and hit the rack, scatter the balls, that's called a break, and you'll see the balls flying in all different directions. Usually, if you can hit it in a certain area, you can get the same effect time after time after time. Hitting it in different other directions, you know. But there are times when you hit it where the balls do not go the same direction all the time. That's what quantum mechanics is about. You know, when you hit that rack and the balls go flying in directions that you had no clue that they were going to go that way, they say that they can figure it out eventually where they're going to come bouncing back to, or where they're going to stop, whatever. I mean, that's what quantum, my general understanding anyway. Maybe way off, because I don't understand it. Yeah, so anyway, they use that right down here. The balls scattered, and according to the laws of physics, should have appeared to split in a haphazard way. But researchers managed to make them reform in their original order, looking as if they were turning back time. Yeah, so I don't get how they can, you know, think of that as a time machine, just because they can figure out maybe by putting them back in the same order from which they came, you're actually turned back time. Okay, sorry I brought you this. A little confusing for me. It's probably confusing for you. It's not. Well, there's the link will be there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know why I went into the quantum physics arena. It just doesn't make sense to me. No, I'm a everything has to have a purpose kind of guy. I'm not a chaotic guy. I'm not now anyway. I used to be chaotic. I used to fly off the handle. I used to do things at the spur of the moment. I think that's one of the reasons my wife married me, because I was spontaneous. I just let's go somewhere. You know, we went to the beach for a day and some stuff like that. You know, I don't do that anymore. None of it. Probably another problem. Anyway, this is from the AP. Mysterious infections traced to bloodshed in religious ritual. I don't know if this is part of the Catholic religion, but they don't look Catholic. That is bloodletting thing. You know how you whip yourself in the back? Seen it on Hollywood anyway. You start bleeding. So anyways, it's creating this mysterious infections. Add self-flagellation, they call it, to the list of ways to get a dangerous viral blood infection. Researchers said Wednesday that they weren't initially puzzled how 10 British men had become infected with a little-known virus because the men hadn't taken risks usually associated with the disease. But then investigators learned that they had participated in bloodshed in religious rituals, cutting or whipping themselves in Iraq, Pakistan, India, and the United Kingdom. There's been suggestion that you might spread infections through this route, but it's never been described before in a published medical study in London. So, the men were infected with human T-cell leukemia virus type 1. Most people infected with the virus never develop symptoms, but some develop terrible illnesses like a deadly blood cancer or a debilitated nervous system condition. So in any case, people, you can read on, and there's something called HTLV1, spreads through breastfeeding, sex, blood transfusions, and shit. The thing is, there's a reason Jesus said, he talked about the blood. We're not to do things with the blood. Keep our own blood, not to give it away, whatever. We're not to do things like that. Probably one of the reasons why the Jewish, believe that they have to have everything kosher. Kosher just means bloodless, no blood in any of the products. Yeah. Even at one time when I was a Jehovah's Witnesses, I actually had surgery. And I actually had to sign a piece of paper because they made me believe, you couldn't get transfusions of any kind. So I had to sign a waiver and, to waive away the actual blood if they needed it while I was going through an operation. And instead I got some other kind of blood products. Probably was a lot worse. But in any case, you got to worry about that when we go through these things, I guess. Just pray about it. And I don't think he's going to hold it against us. After all, he is the healer. He can heal our blood if that's his will. He can heal anything. He can do anything. He's made everything. Everything was done by him. Anything was made that was made by him. Also from WND, Trump grounds the 737 MAX fleet in the U.S. Of course, this is after that 737, where was it? Where was that crash? Let's go with the full story. Maybe I can remember where the crash was. Thought it was in the Philippines. No. Trying to find out where that original crash was. Come on, man. No, they're not allowing me to go there. Ad blocker, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to read the full story. You can go see it if you want. But anyway, there's a lot of people that are grounding these 737 fleets, these planes. Some have said that they've had numerous write-ups. There was problems with them, and they didn't fix it, apparently. So there are a lot of people grounding them. And, of course, people are obviously giving Trump a bad time about grounding these 737s until all, these issues are checked. So President Trump said he issued an executive order today grounding all 737 MAX jets following the second major crash within 5 months. We're going to be issuing an emergency order of prohibition to ground all flights of 737 MAX 8 and 737 MAX 9 and planes associated with that line. Period. Okay. I don't blame them. Get them fixed. That's with a lot of stuff that's going on. Remember that bridge that collapsed? I mean, we actually saw it on a video. I actually saw it, during rush hour traffic. This bridge just collapsed. There's a lot of our infrastructure that is just hanging on by threads and fine material. Very, everything except what the military has, I guess. All right, so what do we have here? Oh, yes, the Ouija board thing. Yeah, mom wants teacher fired for using a Ouija board with kindergarten students. I don't blame her at all. I would do something about it too. I'm glad there are people out there. I'm glad that there are stories that people are at least speaking up and speaking out, not letting everyone do with their children that they wouldn't do themselves with their children. I mean, you're talking, a couple of years back up in Washington, what sixth grade girls were given that the parents didn't know about, birth control methods. Sixth grade. I remember sixth grade. That was the first time I actually asked a girl out. Actually, I asked two out the same day. We didn't know anything. And we were, holding hands maybe. I don't even think that we were kissing how old are we? Sixth grade. 10? So an outraged mother is calling on Milwaukee public school officials to fire a kindergarten teacher who introduced the young students in their class to a Ouija board. The mom, who asked to not be publicly named, said the game was used on Friday in her 5-year-old's classroom at Zablocki Elementary. They were shutting off the lights and making it dark and talking to spirits. That's not something that should be at school, period, the mother said of the game, which is said to be able to channel spirits. And believe me, it does. I've tried the board before. It can. Well, you can open doors in a lot of ways, doing these silly games that you don't think is. We did it. We didn't really understand it, but yes, we knew about ghosts and stuff like that, but we weren't very educated in what kinds of spirits we were actually trying to talk to. Once man, you can open these doors very quickly. You can open them, when you don't know. Seen it done. Anyways, in an email to the mother, the teacher said the Ouija board had been in the classroom since Halloween. Well, there's another problem. That's a holiday that should be outlawed in this country. I think it should be outlawed everywhere. Halloween. You just don't know. And I grew up in it. It was just a way to go get free candy for me. And then I grew up and learned other things. And then try and tell your children, before you find out that they can no longer go and get candy. But you got to put in other things, Bring them to a party or something, or just buy them a bunch of candy. Here, you want the candy here. You don't have to go out and walk for it. That's one thing that should be gone. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people, a lot of Christians who still go out and celebrate it. And to me, that's not Christian. That's not Christ-like at all. And you should not be subjecting your children to these things. So the kids have been asking for a scary story, and I got the board and moved the paperclip to answer some of their questions. They asked about scary characters in movies. Of course they did. They're young, they're curious. And what are you going to do? Put a Ouija board in front of them. Off the subject. Very touchy subject for me. This Halloween, this Ouija board stuff. This, I'm studying the stars. I'm not really, opening any doors or talking to anybody. Yeah, you are. You can. That's what it does. Okay, this is the one, the giant underwater. This is from Fox News. I believe they have a video, but I don't think they're going to let me play it again. Giant underwater Jesus draws hundreds to a frozen Lake Michigan. Let's see if it'll play. Okay. I can't stop it. Okay. There it is. And I'll let you know why. I mean, okay. Everyone sees that. We'll just minute get that right and back up there. The 11-foot religious symbol is located about 800 feet from the shore of the Chowski, Michigan. And what? So hundreds of people waited in the cold to spot the crucifix through a hole carved in the ice below 22 feet of water. There it is. So that's basically the end. But how it got there? Okay, how it got there is that there was a family whose son died. I'll just read it. Anyways, unbeknownst to many, Lake Michigan is home to the only underwater crucifix freshwater on record, and for the first time in several years is visible to the public eye. The 11-foot statue, onto which a 5-foot 5-inch figure of Jesus Christ is attached, is located about 260 yards from shore. And we know that it's in 22 feet of water. People went out there to look, but there's a story behind it. The story behind the statue's final resting place at the bottom of Lake Michigan stretches back to 1956, when a 15-year-old farm boy died in an accident in the eastern town of Bad Axe, according to Inside Edition. His grieving family decided to purchase a 1,850-pound crucifix from Italy for $2,500 as a way to memorialize him. However, when it arrived, the family refused it because the cross broke during transfer. Okay, so it was bought in an auction. So anyways, the cross then made its way north to Little Traverse Bay near Petrosky in 1962 after being sold in an insurance sale to a diving club. It was ordered to be lowered into Lake Michigan in memory of a diver who lost his life in nearby Torch Lake. Eventually, it became known as a symbol for remembrance of those who lost their lives at sea. There you go. The first public viewing of the crucifix was held in 2015. The record 2,021 people there. However, due to weather conditions, it has not been safe enough for crowds to come back and visit it until this past weekend. Interesting stories. Weird to see that underwater. All right, we got 3 more articles here. I haven't read this, but I just had to throw it up there for you. Gene-edited food, okay? Genetically modified or edited, it's modified. Gene-edited food. So they're not going to put in genetically modified. I guess gene-edited sounds better. But anyway, this food quietly arrives in the U.S. restaurants. Yep. Somewhere in the Midwest. Okay. Paying attention, hen. Somewhere in the Midwest, a restaurant is frying foods with oil made from gene-edited soybeans. That's according to the company making the oil, which says it's the first commercial use of a gene-edited food in the U.S. Calyx said it can't reveal its first customer for competitive reasons, but CEO Jim Blom said the oil is use and being eaten. Oil is in use and being eaten. Folks, we are eating a lot of genetically modified food. Didn't you know that? When I first heard that, my youngest daughter, who's I said just had a birthday 2 days ago, was 6 years old. That's when they announced on TV that they were doing some kind of gene editing then. That was for General Mills at the time. Cheerios, which my kids ate a lot of. So I paid no mind to it. And now here we are, 30 years later. It's in all those natural granola bars and snack bars, the ones you buy boxes of that take to work for energy or for food. Read the contents. A lot of this, there's a lot of foods out there. You really should look at the labels because they're at the moment, while a lot of them have to put this on the labels, they're trying to get these foods out or any food out without labels. We shouldn't allow that either. We really should know where our food comes from. I've taken M&M, the Snickers bars. That is genetically modified. It says it right in the package. You look underneath, right on the very bottom, and all these snack bars. Most of them are, are genetically modified. It says it on the package. There's a lot of stuff out there that is not on the package. We really have to pray over the food, even more so now. And I don't know why they have to genetically modify these things, except to influence your body. Because if they're genetically modifying foods, whether to grow faster or bigger and stronger, faster than a speeding train, more faster than a bullet, whatever. It's the super soybean. Yeah. Yeah, lasts longer, weighs heavier and lasts a long time. And it's so less expensive. All about the money. Anyway. So, there you go. Gene-edited crops being explored. And, mushrooms that don't brown, wheat with more fiber, better producing tomatoes, herbicide-tolerant canola, and rice that doesn't absorb soil pollution as it grows. Unlike conventional GMOs, which are made by injecting DNA of other organisms, gene editing lets scientists alter traits by snipping out or adding specific genes in a lab. You want a blue-eyed baby? You can go to Mexico and get one made from 3 parents. Or, you don't like blue eyes, get brown eyes and blonde hair. You want blonde hair? You want longer legs? Do you want shorter fingers? Well, gene editing, CRISPR is what they call it. You can go get that done. Eugenics. I mean, heck, that was even in Star Trek as well. Remember that? The Wrath of Khan? Yeah, the genetic wars. When they made these humans genetically pure, for some reason, a pure, better human, faster human. Yeah, right. To the point where, they're 5 times stronger than a human and, got to be a threat. Just like the AI, the robots, Sophia, whatever. They're going to get bigger and stronger, and they're not going to need you. Russia says it's going to arm a submarine with 6 nuclear doomsday devices. Well, thank you, Russia. Thank you for letting us know anyway. So we'll talk about that in a minute. This is weird. This is the final news clip here. It's from Good News Network. Okay, we're going to finish here a little bit on some good news. After success of the first 3D printed home. Yeah, that's it. The first 3D printed home in the U.S. 50 more homes are being built for poor families. Not one of those Agenda 2030 things where they're going to build all these 3D homes for the poor and, box them up, cramp them in, stack them high, that type of thing. Yeah, well, so far, got the first one done. Building more. So now the masterminds behind the house are beginning construction of 50 more homes for poor families in rural Latin America. Got to start somewhere, right? Either Latin America or Africa. The initiative is being managed by Silicon Valley-based nonprofit New Story in collaboration with Icon, the tech company that designed the specialized 3D printer. Once construction on their first of its kind neighborhood is completed, it will be used to house families who make less than $200 a month. Isn't that special? Well, I guess when we all get around to getting that Elon Musk and whoever that other guy was, universal income of $1,000 a month, well, at least we'll have $800 left over, after paying for the rent of this 3D printed home. And if I had some money when this thing first came out, I saw it coming out, and a friend actually asked me, what do you think? Do you have any ideas about what I could invest in? Too bad the person was stupid enough not to listen to me. Yeah, and they're well-to-do people. I mean, they're good people, but they like spending the money too. Oh, why not? You got to spend it, right? Yeah, I told them 3D printers, 3D printing. Yep. And I was back when they were just beginning. They were really in the very beginning. It was probably taking a guess, 15 years ago, 10, 15. Anyway, all right, so that's the end of the news. Did want to talk about something that happened to me last night. Things have been going on with me for a few days. All I can say is that I was listening to Jan Markell and this Billy Crone and their "We Are Not Accounted to His Wrath," and so I'm going through a battle in my head because with all these different ideas of pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib, are we? Well, we're definitely not accounted to His wrath. Okay, I know that much. It does say, but then you got people saying, what is His wrath? I mean, I always thought that His wrath was the last day, the very last day, the day that He comes. I mean, how long can anybody really stand the wrath of God? And I had long believed that it was just the last day, that one day when God comes back and meets those people in Megiddo and just eliminates them within seconds. I thought that was the last day. And on His coming, the mountains are melting and everything's being changed. It happened in the last day. But of course, now they're talking about this 7-year tribulation and that Israel has to go through and so on and so forth. And we're not accounted to this wrath, which we're not. But, Jesus did tell His disciples that they will have tribulation. Okay? And even now, He said, you will have tribulation. I mean, if you're not going through some kind of tribulation, then what do you call it? Are you going through anything? Are you in a bubble? Are you being, covered by all these things that are going on? And they mentioned all these things. They mentioned, look what's going on. I mean, we have, this is, after I listened to these, Billy Crone's, and he does a great job explaining these things. So I was at a precipice of, mid-trib, pre-trib. I mean, other people have been, hammering out either one of them. I don't know. When they started mentioning all this, and I was thinking about, well, we're not appointed to all these things. And then I'm saying, well, what are we going through now? I mean, what is this? These Satanists taking over our schools and our libraries and the Word of God being removed. I know some of it's coming back. But you're talking about infanticide, you know, murdering our babies. We're talking about taking away, anything of God, the crosses, the mangers. At Christmas time, you can't have any of that anymore. I mean, we're talking about everything. The increased volcanoes, the increase in earthquakes, the storms. Everybody's being flooded. Now I'm saying, what is this that we're going through if this is not tribulation? Is God just warning us that this is the sign of the things to come? Because after all, we are to watch for the signs, right? He will give us signs. And a lot of them are pretty strong and pretty potent. Now, with all these things that have been going on and have been increasing, it's just, it hit me. I was outside. I was smoking a cigarette. Yeah, I know I'm not supposed to smoke, but that's what I was doing. I was looking up at the stars, and I just started to lose breath in my lungs. It felt like I was going to actually collapse, and I fought real hard to stand up after picturing all this stuff in my head with all these things that we've gone through already and the things that are to come. And I'm saying, oh God, we are so, so close. I mean, a lot of people, well, want to tear that apart too. Well, if we're just in tribulation already, and a lot of people say that the first 3.5 years of the tribulation are not so bad. It's not that bad. Well, you tell me it's not that bad. You tell me, that you have thinking adults, moral decline, hate growing and growing, people killing. I mean, the knockout game. What was that all about? I mean, you're talking about all these Antifa, these hate groups, and Black Lives Matter, just wanting people to lash out at each other. They want to start a race war that doesn't exist. And then you have people passing these laws to kill our little babies. And on top of that, the government is spraying chemicals in the air. They're poisoning our drink water. They're sterilizing the men. And they're causing miscarriages and other things. So where are we at then? If this is not tribulation, what is it? Times of sorrows? I don't know. Still learning, but I just got this overwhelming weight. It just attacked my body last night, and I tried to gather myself for at least probably an hour. After I went inside, I tried to go back to work. I had to stop every minute or so and catch my breath. I mean, thinking of these things, we're close, everyone. And not to shock everyone, but then again, maybe it should. And it's not for myself. It's for my family. It's for the lost. It's for all these people that are going in the wrong direction. There's not enough time. That's what I wanted to talk about. I mean, I've asked the Lord for some kind of spiritual guidance, understanding, with the correlation and the fitting and the season for all these things. I think he just gave me just a brief glimpse of it last night. It was horrific. We need to pray for each other. We need to pray for everyone. We need to pray for everything. It's all going away. Praise God. He's coming back. I look forward to that time, but I was hoping that there would be more time to save more people. I don't think there's that much time left. But we can't just stop and wait. Can't do that. Got to go out. Exactly. And tell them that they've been told before, there's not enough time. Time is short, but I'm going to tell them again that it's even shorter. Not enough time. If these things are going on all around us, this hate, this chaos, and this vile darkness, just grotesque things that are happening. And these are just the things that we can see. What about the things that we can feel spiritually? And I know a lot of us do. It's too close. We need to get these people off the fence. We need to speak up and speak out more. We need to pray more, consistently, constantly, at least for strength, for each other, for the body, healing, so that we can be focused to where we need to be. So, it, folks, it is close. It's even closer. It's not pretty at all. And a lot of people thinking, oh yeah, well, I haven't been touched yet. I haven't been affected yet, so it feels like nothing's going on. Well, then you're blind. Those are the people I would love to reach. That's what I'm going to ask my Lord for. That if there's 10, 5, one person that I can stand in the gap for, please let me do it. Please, somebody else do it. Time to stand up. God bless you, everyone. Have a great evening. I will see you on Friday.